GOATs of our games, and we appreciate you.
Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA, she shattered it. From college records to league-changing moments, she's delivered 7 jaw-dropping performances that left fans, players, and even legends speechless. These weren't just games, they were shocks to the system. So today, we're climbing the 7 levels of pure shock. The exact moments when Caitlin Clark made everyone say, "She did what?"
She did! She did it! She's the one you want!
It all started before she ever played a WNBA game. The first level of shock was her college finale, when she dropped 41 points against South Carolina in the NCAA tournament.
Here we go! Sonato and Saxton to jump it up. And we are underway. Here's Clark working around Fletcher. Caitlin Clark has Iowa on the board first.
That game didn't just end a season, it announced the start of an era. Clark's mix of range, vision, and swagger felt like something basketball hadn't seen before. Even South Carolina coach Dawn Staley, who'd faced every type of superstar, couldn't help but admit it. Caitlin was different.
The clip that she scores, and she's not done yet. Like, she's probably got, I don't know, 15 more games left in the season, and to do it probably 30, 40 points a clip. I mean, what we're witnessing is something quite incredible. I think she's going to go down in the history books as, probably arguably the best player to grace our collegiate sports.
That night, millions of people tuned in and saw what the WNBA was about to inherit. It wasn't hype anymore. It was destiny. Then came level 2, the Logo 3 that announced her arrival to the pros.
6 on the shot clock. Clark, a deep 3! Oop, that is! It knocks that one down, and it's a big one.
First week in the WNBA-packed arena. The fever down late in the shot clock, and Clark pulled up from nearly half court, swish. The crowd exploded. Commentators froze mid-sentence. In that instant, it felt like Steph Curry had just joined the WNBA. The same veterans who said she'd need time to adjust to reality, like Diana Taurasi, now had to accept a new one.
There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
The rookie didn't just survive her debut. She changed how people watched women's basketball. Level 3 was when she proved she wasn't just a scorer.
Through the lane, feeds Howard. Another assist for Clark. That's 13.
Critics said her shooting was flashy, but she couldn't run an offense. Then, she dropped 13 assists in one night, slicing defenses apart like she'd been in the league for years. No-look passes, backdoor feeds, cross-court lasers. Every possession looked like art. Fans compared her to Sue Bird, the greatest floor general the WNBA ever had. Except this time, it wasn't a veteran. It was a rookie controlling the game like a master conductor. That night, Caitlin Clark didn't just belong, she was leading. Level 4 took things off the court, the night she filled the arena.
Greetings from Cambridge Fieldhouse.
Crowd jammed outside.
Caitlin pulls left wing, the right wing, 30-plus feet. Logo crosses over, launch it. Oh my goodness! She is back!
Attendance for Fever games tripled. When Indiana played away, ticket prices soared. Entire arenas sold out just to see her warm up. And when those fans showed up, they stayed for the rest of the league. Even WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert couldn't deny it. Caitlin Clark wasn't just changing basketball, she was saving its business model. Opposing players might have rolled their eyes at the attention, but they were cashing bigger checks because of her. Every camera, every headline, every sold-out seat, all connected to Caitlin Clark. But not everyone was happy about it. Level 5 was the hit that backfired. The infamous body check from Chennedy Carter during the Fever versus.
Mabry doubled off to Carter. Her jumper is good. Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench. Clark, and then the lay from Boston as the officials are going to take a look at what just transpired between Carter and Clark.
Sky Game became the defining moment of the season. It wasn't a basketball play, it was a message. Clark crashed to the floor, the crowd gasped, and social media exploded. Instead of humbling her, it made her even bigger. ESPN led with the clip for days. The incident drew in casual fans who didn't even watch the WNBA before.
I think the thing is, I believe, Miss Carter, you can play hard without playing cheap. Now, if you want to say, well, she threw an elbow or a punch at my head, if you wanted to hip check her and you're trying to block her out for a rebound, I don't think we're having the discussion. Shanae, Monica, I don't think we're having that discussion. But because she was standing there and you go up and you do that, now all eyes are on you. Plus the fact, if people look at your resume, it's who you are. You're a top 5 pick, and within inside of a year, you're kicked off a team. You go to another team, and within that situation, all that happens. And yeah, of course, it's the same thing. Stephen A. Put Stephen A. up on the screen for a second. Stephen A., you remember when Tiger Woods came into the PGA? How they hated on him because he was getting all the shine. But now they applaud him for all the money and revenue that these tournaments pay out now. So I agree. Miss Carter, I believe you can play hard. You're supposed to compete, but I believe you can do it without being cheap. And that's what you did with a cheap shot.
Clark got up, hit a 3, and walked off like nothing happened. That single sequence flipped the league's narrative. The hate only fueled her rise. Level 6, the rookie record that made history. By mid-season, she wasn't just performing, she was rewriting the record books. Fastest rookie to reach 200 assists. Rookie scoring pace that shattered projections. Every analyst who called her overrated had to eat their words. Stephen A. Smith went on national television and said she's the future of women's sports.
Why I said that she should have been on Team USA? You see why I had to go off on the likes of Cheryl Swoops and others who were clearly distant and dismissive of her, no matter how much they try to deny it? There was resentment towards her, and here's why I said it was stupid. Because when she came into the WNBA, for 22 plus years, they had been flying commercial. They were begging for chartered flights. She arrives there, and 2 weeks later, they got chartered flights. She automatically and instantaneously improved the conditions. Attendance is still lagging. WNBA is still losing money compared to what you would hope it would earn, but clearly things are on an upward trending trajectory. It's improving, and she has everything to do with it. Attendance for Indiana Fever games? Are you kidding me?
The same player veterans said needed to earn respect had already earned her place in the record books. Every stat became a statement. Caitlin Clark was the standard now. Then came Level 7, the revenge game that changed everything.
First in the league in fast break points.
Clark, connect!
Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese. The rematch the world had been waiting for since their viral NCAA showdown. From the opening tip, Clark looked locked in. Step-back threes, bullet passes. Every shot seemed personal. The arena felt electric. Every bucket louder than the last. She torched Chicago with her season-high performance, silencing every critic who said she couldn't handle the pressure. By the time the final buzzer sounded, even Reese couldn't hide her respect. This wasn't just payback, it was dominance. From college dominance to professional chaos, Caitlin Clark has shocked the WNBA 7 different times, and she's only a rookie. Each level wasn't just about points or records, it was about power. She didn't bend to the league's rules, she forced the league to evolve around her. The veterans who once doubted her now share highlight reels with her. The fans who came for controversy now stay for her greatness. The league that tried to test her ended up being transformed by her. The truth is, every moment, every viral clip, and every rivalry has built the same story. Caitlin Clark isn't just another player, she's a movement. And this movement is only getting louder. Because every time the world says she's gone too far, she finds a new way to shock them all over again. If you're still watching, drop Clark Shock Level 7 in the comments. Which of these moments made you say, she did what? Hit like, subscribe, and get ready, because the next level of Caitlin Clark might be her biggest one yet.
I've been saying it for years. I keep telling everybody she's the Steph Curry of women's basketball, college or pro. She is a superstar.
Up in time, Clark for the win! Yeah!
She put women's basketball on the international map. She shot jump shots from the logo. She went Steph Curry on women's college basketball.
She going for history!
From snide comments to full-blown rivalries, Caitlin Clark has faced more hate in one rookie season than most players see in a lifetime. But what if we told you there are 7 distinct levels to it, each one more ruthless than the last? This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about envy, power, and what happens when one player threatens to change an entire league. Because every shove, every quote, and every headline tells the same story. How Caitlin Clark became the most talked about, loved, and hated player in women's basketball. Level 1, the casual doubters.
Your only argument for Caitlin is that it would have been a great marketing opportunity and you don't have basketball experience or chemistry with the group listed in your reasoning. I don't want to hear it.
Stephen A., I could actually argue that it hurts the game more if they had given her a roster spot over someone more deserving. Because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their intention, and they're not as talented, we're not putting the best team out there.
Before she even played her first WNBA game, critics said her college game wouldn't translate. Pundits claimed her long-range threes would be useless against faster defenders and stronger players. When Clark debuted with the Indiana Fever in May 2024, social media was flooded with comments like, "She'll get humbled quick." But just weeks later, Clark shattered those expectations, becoming the fastest rookie in WNBA history to reach 200 assists and 300 points. The casual doubters didn't hate her because of who she was. They hated how fast she proved them wrong. Level 2, the eye rollers.
Levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it. Of course. And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Then came the veterans who didn't openly attack her, but made sure to downplay her rise. Players like Diana Taurasi warned that the reality of the WNBA would hit her hard. Others echoed that Clark needed to earn respect first. Even broadcasters threw shade, saying she was getting too much attention too soon. What these comments really revealed was discomfort. Clark wasn't just bringing eyes to the league, she was rewriting its hierarchy overnight. Every highlight, every sold-out arena, every ESPN headline reminded the veterans that the WNBA now revolved around a rookie. Level 3, the gatekeepers.
This isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay. Now we enter the realm of direct hostility. Cheryl Swoops, one of the league's original icons, became the face of this level when she claimed that Clark's stats were inaccurate and that she was being protected by the refs. Her comments ignited a firestorm. Fans accused Swoops of jealousy. Even ESPN hosts like Stephen A. Smith stepped in, calling out the hypocrisy, saying Clark's fame wasn't handed to her, it was earned through performance. Swoops later walked back her remarks, but by then, the damage was done. A clear line had been drawn, the old guard versus the new era. Level 4, the enforcers.
Here's Clark for 29 points, gets tripped up.
This is where the hate turned physical. During a Fever versus Chicago Sky game in June 2024, Chennedy Carter delivered one of the most infamous hits of the season, a blindside body check that sent Clark crashing to the floor. It wasn't a basketball play, it was a statement.
Chennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench. And Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter, it happened prior to the inbound, so then anybody can shoot the free throw.
Carter doubled down afterward, refusing to apologize. Her teammate, Dejonai Carrington, mocked Clark online, tweeting, "Beside every flop is a camera." Fans and analysts exploded, with ESPN and social media accusing the WNBA of allowing targeted aggression. The Fever's coach, Stephanie White, called it unacceptable, while other players quietly admitted that Clark was being treated differently. This level was pure intimidation, trying to humble her through pain. Level 5, the rival queens.
People are talking about women's basketball that you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Enter Angel Reese, Clark's most famous rival. Their rivalry began in college when Reese taunted Clark in the 2023 NCAA championship, a gesture that instantly went viral. Fast forward to the WNBA and every Fever versus. Sky Game became must-watch TV. Reese and Clark embodied opposite energies. Clark, the quiet assassin. Reese, the vocal powerhouse. Reese's post-game interviews added fuel with lines like, "I'm living rent-free."
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Literally. I'm trying to think of like my rent for where I stay at. I'm gonna do the math real quick.
It might cover that. Yeah, it definitely covers that.
What is my, I don't even know my salary. 74? Okay. Times.
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah. I don't even know my salary. Does it? Let me see. You don't even. Yo! I'm living beyond my means. It's like.
Yet behind the theatrics was real competition. Reese fought to prove that her dominance wasn't overshadowed by Clark's fame. Their rivalry pulled record-breaking TV ratings, proving that even hate can drive the league's growth. Level 6, the power players.
You've only played 540 minutes of basketball, and of those 540, 74 have been against Caitlin. You only got 2 flagrants, and they happen to be against Caitlin. I don't think it's coincidence.
Now the hate shifts from individuals to institutions. Throughout Clark's rookie season, referees faced scrutiny for inconsistent officiating. Data showed that Clark absorbed more flagrant fouls than any other rookie, but rarely received calls in her favor. Even Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, faced criticism for using Clark for publicity while failing to protect her. When Clark was left off the Team USA roster for the 2024 Olympics, it sparked national outrage.
Some of us felt like maybe she hadn't proved it in the WNBA, but at this point, she certainly has. So she proved everybody wrong.
What about the guards? Let's talk about the guards that did make it. Talk about the guards that did make it. How they play, Andrea? Because you were one of the ones that say she didn't earn it. How did the guards play that within the Olympics? How did they play?
For sure, but we can't take how Caitlin finished the W season and pivot that to how she would have done in the Olympics. That's a completely different argument.
Saying is, look at that point. Look at how she played up until that point. Chelsea Gray had only played 1 game before she went to the Olympics. She was outplaying Diana Taurasi. Was she outplaying Diana Taurasi at that point in time that she was on the team? It's a simple yes or a simple no.
Was Caitlin outplaying Diana Taurasi? But you can't just factor in current play, Shannon. That's all I'm saying. You got to factor in.
Many saw it as the establishment's quiet resistance, a message that fame doesn't buy access to power. Clark stayed silent, saying only, "I'll be cheering them on," but her absence spoke volumes. The league's biggest star was watching from home. Level 7, the Alpha Challenger. Finally, we reached the top. Aja Wilson, the reigning MVP, the face of the Las Vegas Aces, and the symbol of the WNBA's old guard. Wilson's comments about privilege and spotlight during Clark's rise stirred debate. She never mentioned Clark by name, but everyone knew who she meant.
She had this to say about Caitlin Clark, who makes her debut tonight. She said this: A'ja Wilson thinks that Caitlin Clark is only popular because she's white. I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It's really because you can be the top notch at what you do as a black woman, but maybe there's something that people don't want to see, Wilson said to the Associated Press.
When the Fever faced the Aces, Wilson dominated, yet cameras still focused on Clark. That imbalance fueled resentment. Wilson represents the one figure Clark has yet to surpass, the standard of greatness she threatens to replace. But here's the twist. Their rivalry isn't built on hate alone. It's about legacy. Wilson wants to prove her era isn't over. Clark wants to show hers has begun. And that's what makes Level 7 the most powerful form of hate. Respect disguised as resistance. From casual doubt to calculated rivalry, Caitlin Clark's journey through these 7 levels of hate reveals something bigger than basketball. Every shove, every comment, and every snub has built her legend piece by piece. She's been labeled overrated, targeted on the court, mocked by peers, and left out of the biggest stage in the world. But every time she's answered with performance, breaking rookie scoring records, hitting logo threes, and filling arenas that used to be half empty. This hate didn't break her, it branded her. Because the truth is, Caitlin Clark didn't just survive the hate, she used it. Every foul turned into a headline, every rivalry became a ratings boost, every critic turned into a stepping stone. And now, as her story keeps unfolding, one question remains. If this is what the league looks like when everyone hates Caitlin Clark, imagine what happens when they have to respect her. If you're still watching, drop Clark Level 7 in the comments. And tell us, which level of hate do you think went too far? Hit subscribe for more deep dives into the drama, rivalries, and power plays shaping the WNBA.
So it looked like some footage has surfaced of Kathy Engelbert counting Caitlin Clark pockets, and it's looking real spooky about her actually making those comments about Caitlin.
Breaking news. Kathy Engelbert is out as WNBA commissioner, fired after her shocking comments about Caitlin Clark backfired in the worst way possible.
I think everyone's frustrated when NBA players from that side of things are reaching out to us just like in awe of how terrible it is. Like, that's saying something. That is absolutely saying something when your counterpart is feeling bad for us because of how we're getting treated. I mean, come on. And that's from leadership. That's from, I'll just leave it there. From our leadership, it's just bad.
But here's the twist. This wasn't just one bad quote. This was years of ignoring players, silencing coaches, and sparking a mutiny. Sophie Cunningham, Nafisa Collier, and others revealed the truth, and it's uglier than anyone thought.
After all of the hoopla, after all of the drama, Nafisa Collier comes out in her exit interview, alleges some things that Kathy Engelbert said. Caitlin Clark is the WNBA is the only reason why she got her deals. Talking and telling the players that they need to get on their knees and be thankful that Kathy got them the deal that she got them. Only for a few days later, the start of the WNBA Finals, Kathy Engelbert addressing the media and straight up, flat out saying she did not say those things about Caitlin Clark. There was no word salad, there was no double speak, there was no, let me try to be a politician and talk my way around this one. When it came strictly to the Caitlin Clark subject, Kathy Engelbert said, no, I obviously did not say that.
Let's start with what lit the fuse. Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner who was supposed to protect the league, looked at Caitlin Clark, the most important rookie in sports, and said she should be grateful.
I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $60 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me, players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them.
grateful for the WNBA, as if Clark's record-breaking college ratings, sold-out arenas, and multi-million-dollar endorsements didn't exist before she even touched the league. And it didn't stop there. Engelbert also told players that only losers complain about refs.
I sat across from Kathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs.
Think about that. Every night, players were getting hacked, bruised, shoved to the floor. Coaches were fined just for calling out the obvious. But instead of fixing the officiating disaster, Engelbert dismissed it all. That arrogance was the final straw. First came Nafisa Collier. In her exit interview, she didn't sugarcoat a thing. She called WNBA leadership the worst in the world. She accused Engelbert of ignoring injuries, of pretending officiating was fine when it was destroying games, and of failing to protect players driving league revenue like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing, but to also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. Year after year, the only thing that remains consistent is the lack of accountability from our leaders. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years.
Then came Sophie Cunningham. Her voice cracked, but her message was sharp. I'm just tired of our league.
But today, I am, because I'm just tired of our league. They need to step up and be better. Our leadership from top to bottom needs to be held accountable. I think that there are a lot of people in the position of powers in the WNBA who they might be really great business people, but they don't know shit about basketball, and that's got to change.
Sophie accused Engelbert of being clueless about basketball fundamentals. She said leadership might know business, but they don't understand the game players put their bodies on the line for. She even warned that if things didn't change, players were ready to lock out. Cunningham also dismantled Engelbert's favorite talking points. Remember when Engelbert claimed Clark's endorsements only existed because of the WNBA? Sophie called it out as a lie. Clark had Nike, State Farm, Gatorade, and Wilson before she ever set foot in the league.
She told Nafisa, she said she's lucky. She wouldn't make all this money without the platform we give her, which is, first off, just not true. Didn't she sign a Nike deal and a TV deal before she left Iowa?
Dude,
like, what are we doing? The most successful leagues in the world we live in are the NBA, MLB, NFL. Like, they embrace their stars. It's like the kindergarten lesson for owning a league. It's like, these are who people buy jerseys of and what networks want to play your shit. Like, I mean, she probably didn't know Nafisa was going to give that speech, but like, to be so dismissive of arguably your best player in the face of your league is like so bonkers.
The revolt was spreading. Lexi Hull, Aja Wilson, and even veterans like Lisa Leslie started backing the players. Suddenly, Engelbert wasn't just facing criticism. She was surrounded. The storm got louder. Stephen A. Smith blasted Engelbert's weak statement.
Kathy Engelbert needs to resign. I am disheartened about how Nafisa characterized our conversation at league leadership. That's all you've got? You gotta go. That's a weak-ass response. I'm gonna say it one more time. That's a weak-ass response. You are the commissioner of the league. This young lady, Nafisa Collier, who's been runner-up for MVP twice, who's clearly a face and a star in the league, who's universally respected, called you out. She said, you're dismissive. She talked about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and how your comments were that they were lucky to be in the league. They should be grateful for the money that they're getting. They should be on their knees thanking them. What? And that's the response that you give? What kind of defense is that? Was she lying? Kathy Engelbert?
Scott Van Pelt called it years of failed leadership.
As for what Engelbert is alleged to have said to Collier, if she actually suggested Caitlin Clark should be grateful for what she makes off the court, that's preposterous. Did you miss the Iowa years? Clark is the Tiger Woods tide that lifts all boats. And we know this show is proof. The highest rating we have ever had followed one of her games at Iowa. The WNBA has benefited from her presence more than the other way around, even though this year for Caitlin Clark was essentially lost to injury. But it's a league that's at a flashpoint. Kathy Engelbert has got to do more than say she's disheartened in a press release. The commissioner needs to explain how it is that a player, such as Collier, could ever come to feel this way and seemingly be speaking for all of her peers. I admire that Collier had the temerity to say what she did. The failure to respond, directly would be making another statement entirely.
These weren't fringe voices. They were ESPN's biggest names, openly saying she had lost the locker room. Fans were furious too. Outside Fever games, ratings were flat. Attendance wasn't climbing. Social media exploded with threats of boycotts. People were saying what players already knew. Kathy Engelbert was failing at the exact moment the WNBA had its biggest growth opportunity in history. And then came the tipping point. Coaches like Stephanie White and Cheryl Reeve kept getting fined for speaking honestly about officiating. Even Becky Hammon admitted the chaos wouldn't last 2 seconds in the NBA. Engelbert didn't fix the problem. She punished anyone who pointed it out. The culture became toxic. Players silenced, coaches fined, fans ignored, and all while Engelbert claimed everything was fine. Finally, Adam Silver stepped in. The NBA commissioner, the man who controls the money, the media rights, the survival of the WNBA, made the call. Kathy Engelbert was fired. Make no mistake, this wasn't about protecting players out of goodwill. This was about money, ratings, and the NBA's reputation. Caitlin Clark had become the golden goose, the star who single-handedly saved the WNBA from irrelevance. And Engelbert had the nerve to belittle her. Silver knew the league couldn't risk losing Clark. He knew sponsors, networks, and fans wouldn't stick around if Engelbert kept dismissing the very players driving the game. So she was gone. But here's the irony. Engelbert thought Clark needed the WNBA. The truth? The WNBA needed Caitlin Clark. She brought the crowds, she brought the viewers, she brought the sponsors, and Engelbert's failure to see that reality cost her the job. The revolt sealed it. Nafisa Collier lit the match. Sophie Cunningham poured gasoline on the fire. Lexi Hull and others made sure the flames couldn't be ignored. Together, players proved that leadership is no longer untouchable. Their voices forced change. Still, firing Engelbert doesn't magically fix everything. The officiating crisis remains. Player safety is still at risk. Fans still want accountability. The league needs a commissioner who understands basketball, not just boardrooms. Someone who will protect its stars, not dismiss them. So here's the truth. Kathy Engelbert is gone. But the WNBA's future hangs on what happens next. Who steps in to lead? Can they rebuild trust? Or will Caitlin Clark's golden era be wasted by the same broken system? That's the question every fan is asking. And now I want to hear from you. Do you think Kathy Engelbert's firing came too late or right on time? If you're still watching, drop Clark saved WNBA in the comments.